What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Elevator Life.
Guys, good to see you again. We're getting smog alerts here in Guangzhou, trying to take cover inside, protect ourselves as much as we can.
All this stuff you read about in the news in Beijing is on its way down here, so we're trying to exercise less outside, probably go to the gym more, run on the treadmill, even though it's nice to run outdoors here when it's simply too smoggy. It is not worth it.
It's pretty scary, man. It's white.
Yeah.
It's just white.
Can't see, even if you look off in the distance, buildings you can normally see, not right now, just a thick haze, not really our style. Looking forward to the blue skies that we had, maybe a week ago.
It's pretty, I don't like it. I just really don't like it. Good thing getting out of here.
Yeah.
But we'll leave you to soak in the nice smoggy air.
Yeah, he's a great business partner. He goes on a nice 2-week tropical vacation, then back home. Well, I might be joining him actually, and then leaves me to handle a lot of the meetings, good times, taxi rides, gunbane, which is, lots of drinking involved, but that's our business. We chose it and we love it.
Guys, today we're going to be talking about something really cool. We've actually done a few guest posts on this topic, and it just kind of hit us that we hadn't really discussed it on our own show.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about Chinese employees. What brought us around to the topic is we're just hiring a new employee to take care of some online stuff over here in China. And man, it's one of our favorite things working with Chinese people. They help your business out. They do everything for you, and so we really want to speak about their value and let everyone know really how much of a benefit they do give you here in China.
We didn't have Chinese employees to start because obviously we were bootstrapping, and it's not like you can barely be paying yourself and surviving, so you're not going to have time to pay other people. But as your business grows, as ours has, thankfully we're able to outsource a lot of the things we originally had to do ourselves. Just to be as efficient as we can be, as we've talked about in earlier posts. Why spend time doing some tasks that other people are qualified and able to do when we should be focusing on the bigger picture things?
100% true. It's really allowed us to get a lot more done.
Yeah.
But specifically in China, it's interesting. It's, I would say, even more important, way more important to have assistants here as soon as possible when you're doing business or even living here. Than back home, because back home, even when you don't have an assistant and you're trying to do all the tasks on by yourself, okay, you're trying to handle the heavy load. Here, without an assistant or without someone working for you, you don't have access, or you can't do a lot of the things that you can do when you do have an assistant.
Yeah, of course.
So not only can you not do stuff, it obviously really hinders your business, and it makes it a lot easier to be here and do business here when you do have Chinese staff working for you.
Just comes down to communication and the fact we can't, readily communicate with the majority of the people here compared to if we were back in the U.S.
Or it's a huge hump.
Yeah.
It's getting on the phone with someone that you've never talked to before. They don't know who you are. Can be quite difficult, especially when you're talking business. And so just having someone that you can be like, I need this done, I need this done, I need this done, and super easy for her. Obviously, this is her culture. She can take care of it instantly. It makes all your headaches go away. So I want to start off comparing the Chinese employees with kind of other employees in Asia and other employees that you guys are probably familiar with. Chinese employees, so Chinese culture and Western culture are extremely different.
To say the least.
Not just culture, I'm talking even the way that you think.
Yeah.
Okay, they're an extremely hard-working culture.
Yeah.
Extremely hard-working. However, the reasoning and the problem-solving and that kind of stuff isn't in their education system.
The cognitive skills, or
yes,
the critical thinking.
The critical thinking
isn't there.
So you really cannot expect them to go out and make reasonable decisions that you would make.
Yeah.
And that seems obvious to you. But when it comes down to following directions and doing tasks that you have personally laid out, fantastic work, and they really actually do enjoy doing it.
Yeah, they do. It's just, as you said, those cognitive, problem-solving skills or thoughts aren't really there. So it's really important for you as the boss,
yes,
to help them, see it themselves, but also again and again and again until they're comfortable to do it themselves. I mean, one of our employees just had to repeat and repeat and repeat, and you give them a process and they can do it flawlessly. But if they don't have that process and you expect them to get A to B, they're going to get lost on the way unless you tell them step by step how to get there. And then it's no problem to do it again and again and again. But they need a lot of guidance. Yeah.
So we've been asked the question, what do you think about Chinese virtual assistants? We don't really think it makes sense to hire a Chinese virtual assistant unless you're doing something in China.
Yeah.
On that side of things, if you're ever going to be doing business in China, trying to pursue a venture in China, even coming to China, I think a Chinese assistant is essential. Essential, not only for your personal life, but obviously for your business. It allows you to have access to the entire marketplace instead of kind of being handcuffed in certain areas.
Yeah. Efficiency-wise, it's just a need. It's a need. It's something. It's just like a laptop. It's like a cell phone, and like an assistant here is a need for you to be able to stay sane and do things in a, I guess, efficient, yeah, an efficient order.
And I think it's a really cool idea too, if we're talking about Chinese virtual assistants, for someone that doesn't want to be based here in China. If you come over here, you get an employee, you hire them for a while, you do teach them your processes. That's something that we've learned when we're doing business. Any new system that we're starting, we document it. So it's documented down. This is the first step I take, this is the second step I take, this is third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So when you're passing it on to your Chinese employee maybe a month or two down the road, it's there for them. And you're like, oh, this is all I have to do. Even down to the smallest steps. Click this button, click here, copy, paste, that kind of stuff, all down in a process. Yeah. If you're able to bring on an employee that can do that for you, it will allow you to spend a lot more time in the States because they'll be able to handle your interests over here.
Yeah, of course.
And so I think that is one area where Chinese virtual assistants are amazing. But Chinese employees in general, we've had a great experience with them.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be as good of employee as you are, I guess, of boss. Pretty much a leader.
Yeah.
You have to, like you just said, your business can be completely streamlined through them as long as they know what they have to do. So, and a lot of people don't really understand that and will get frustrated. And we always hear, why do you do this? Why do you do that? It's, again, that's their culture, and they're not going to understand how to do these processes unless you show them.
Yep. So when it comes to finding a Chinese employee, one thing that we've really noticed over here is, especially with our employees and with our friends' companies, their employees, Chinese people really do enjoy working for foreigners.
Yeah.
It's a really unique job, especially compared to maybe their friends or other people that are doing different things. Working in businesses like ours, it's like, I think it's a view like a cutting edge, like, new age, kind of different culture. They get us experience Western culture. They're doing really different types of businesses than their other friends back home or something like that. Yeah. It's exciting. And our working customs, they really like.
They enjoy it a lot more compared to the stringent, very strict, I guess, customs you'll have here in China where, their schedules when they're working for a Chinese company literally blow my mind how long they're working.
Monday through Saturday.
And no, like, evenings too,
Evenings.
It's like
whatever they ask you to work, you've got to work.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not 8 or 9 a.m. and they'll be there 7 p.m., 8 p.m. till the shop closes. 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and that's the norm here. And we're talking about a lot of administrative jobs or things like that for Chinese companies, and us, we're a lot more lenient.
We're offering them 9 to 5 with better pay, and so obviously it becomes a position of value for them.
Yeah.
And so it's really it's not too difficult to find employees, but it's easy to keep them, especially if you're a good leader. We've had a really good experience with that.
Yeah, and in regards to finding employees, think of the population of China, universities, grad students, the employment pool is just absolutely huge here. And I mean, there's so many. We've been really lucky actually with our employees. Haven't had a lot of turnover at all, but it's really easy to find those ones who are kind of just fresh out of university or on their way looking for a path, and hey, here you go, here's this opportunity, and they love it. They jump for it, definitely.
Our employees have come from referrals.
Yeah.
Which is obviously where you want employees to come from. We have a huge network of people here, and so when we're looking for somebody new, we kind of put the word out. Usually somebody's friend or somebody that's doing this is looking for something new. And especially when you're offering those positions of value, they'll jump at it.
Yeah.
So to say with that, guys, we on the posts that weren't on this site when we were talking about this topic, we had a lot of interest in helping people find employees or like asking about that. So below the video, we're gonna link a few websites that you can check out. The main one is completely in Chinese, so I don't know how far Google Translate will get that for you.
Yeah.
But feel free to shoot us a message.
Yeah.
If you are looking for employments or employees in China, we'll definitely start a discussion with you. We're definitely interested in hearing the demand out there. Is there interest for people looking for help here on the ground?
Yeah, there's definitely a few different avenues you can use. Like he just said, there's online, referrals, which we obviously prefer because that's coming from a network contact who you trust and you think believe has a valuable opinion. And then third, real quick, what happens a lot in China is poaching, where they'll go to just a similar company, say Haagen-Dazs and Baskin-Robbins, just take the manager from one of them, offer him better pay, and then they'll move out of there. But that hasn't been our experience because working for a company like ours is a pretty unique opportunity. So they mostly stick around.
Yeah, but we're kind of guilty of that. We'll find someone that we like and they're working for someone else, and they'll be like, "Hey, you want to come work for us?" So
well, at least no one has left us.
Yeah,
maybe we've gotten some that way, but none of them ever really left.
But yeah, poaching is a common thing over here. It obviously allows you to see who's good and go try and attract them to your position. So guys, Chinese assistants, Chinese employees, they give you access to this market. They're a huge help. They provide a tremendous amount of value. I recommend them for anyone that is looking to do business here. Just a little tip into how much it costs. We start a just basic assistant, if that's all she's going to be doing, around 4,000 RMB a month as a preliminary salary, few months probation, and then start to bump up from there.
Yeah.
And that's about $800-900 a month.
Like 600, maybe 650, 700.
Man, sorry guys, we've been over here so long we can't even do the conversion rates, and the RMB is changing so often.
It's I think it's like $600 or $700 for a full-time full-time pretty much employee assistant. If you think about that, so we were bootstrapped. If you have anything in your budget where you can allocate some funds.
If there's more, if there need to be more skilled, that's got to be higher.
Yeah,
our sales managers and stuff like that, they make a lot more than that. But if you're just looking for an assistant, it's gonna be very cheap. You can even find part-time ones for around 2,000 if you're talking about a college student. So it's very cheap, very affordable, and the value heavily outweighs the cost. So we highly recommend it.
Yeah, it will ramp up your business, that's for sure.
All right, guys, have a good one. Make some moves this week, and we'll see you soon.
Stay focused, dedicated, execute.
Later, guys.
Bye.